everyone, Isaac here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Boolean, the visible property, and how to use the Boolean to show and hide different things. And there's a lot you can do with the Boolean and also with the visible property. So let's go ahead and get started with something very basic so you can have a good grasp and understand it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another screen. And I'm actually going to come here. I think I already have it in there. I have this global variable called var switch, and I am setting this global variable to this Boolean of true. So when you set a global variable, you can use it in any screen. As you can see, I have two screens here, and I'm going to use it in this screen. So let's go ahead and add text, a label actually, for our screen. And what I'm going to do now is let me increase the font of this. Let's call it 25, and then we are going to make it bold so we can see it. And let's let it expand the width of the form of our canvas. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say var switch is, and then we are going to concatenate that global variable. So var switch. And as you can see, it's saying it's false. If we go here and we change it, we can change it to false. And as you can see, it's saying false. But I want it to be true for now. Let's make it true. So that's our global variable. So now, let me center this. So what I want to do now is I want to add a button. And let's call this button true. And let's add a second button. There you go. And let's call this button false. Okay. False. So what I want to do now is when I click on this true, this will say var switch is true, and false will change it to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the button. It's on the onSelect property. And what I want to do is come in here and I'm going to say set var switch true. Alright. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to say same thing on an onSelect property, and I'm going to say set var switch false. There you go. Now let's go to our preview and see what happens here. True, see that? False. True, false, true, false. Okay. So recap, we set our global variable, this var switch variable, to true. We added these two buttons. We created onSelect. On the onSelect property, we set it. We switch the value of this var switch to true, and on this one we switch it to false, and that's why we're able to do this. Now let's look at something more, I guess, practical. You know, let's say you are in the IT department, and you only give out Mac laptops or either Mac laptops or Microsoft laptops. So let's change this one to Mac. Let's say Mac laptops. And let's change this one to Windows laptop. Okay. And let me expand this. There you go. So let's say you work for an IT department, and in your organization they only take Windows or Mac laptops. So when they submit this form, you want all the fields associated with the Mac laptop to show up, and all the fields associated with the Windows laptop to show up if it is selected. So if Mac laptop is selected, all the fields related to the Mac laptop should show, and the Windows should be invisible. It should be hidden, and vice versa. So let's go ahead and add some fields. Let's add some fields. Let's put all the Mac stuff on this side. Okay. And let me just do this and this. Copy, paste. And then we're going to move that over here. Oops. And this is our, there you go. So now, when I click on Mac, I want this to disappear, and when I click on Windows, I want this to disappear. And remember that this var switch is false. So the Mac, this will be true, and then this will be false. Now how do we do that? So let's see. So we're going to go to the visible property of each one. And let's see if it'll let me do this. Okay, so let's go to the visible property, and we're going to say var switch. All right, so let's see what happens. So it's true, false. See how it switched? Now, how do you think we're going to take care of this? Because when I do this, the right action is taking place. This is still showing, but the Mac stuff is gone. That's good. But when I click on Mac, I want this to show, but I also want this to go away too. So how do I do that? Now the way to do that is you have to negate that variable. So I'm going to show you how. We're going to come here, and then we're going to go to the visible property. And then we're going to say var switch. Okay, let's see what happens. See that? Now, it's still not behaving the way we want it to behave. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here, go to the, whenever you put a exclamation mark before it, it flips it from true to false. And if it was false, from false to true. Preview. So we want our Mac start showing. This is gone. Windows, see that? Mac, Windows, Mac, Windows. Now this is a very contrived example. In the next video, I'm going to show you like a real version, like a real world example of how this works. So I hope the Boolean and the visible property made sense. Leave your comments down below if you have any questions, and stay tuned for my next video where we're going to actually customize the list, and I'm going to show you how we use it in a real world situation, a situation that I've used this in. Thank you, and I look forward to the next video. Bye.